2-0, top 20, specifically 18th ranked USF Bulls travel to the Miami Hurricanes, who are ranked inside of the top 10 or top 5, depending on where you look. Also 2-0. Going to be 80 degrees at kickoff, approximately 1 mile per hour in a sold-out Hard Rock Stadium, Miami being favored by 17.5 points. The public is high on USF. The public is with USF. You know, may the force be with you is that common phrase in Star Wars. It's like the equivalent of, in our reality, God be with you, for example. A phrase that I came up with that I think is ingenious, and I don't think I'm all that, you know, I don't think I'm a genius, but I think this phrase is, may the public not be with you. May they not be. Because when the public is with you, especially to this degree, very bad things happen. Before I resume, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bells, and comment your thoughts down below. I love your engagement. Don't just hit the notification bell for my main channel. Hit the bell for any team playlists attached to the video if interested. If your team is not there or you're not interested, please navigate to my home channel page. Check out the playlists tab. Your team will be there if it's a Power 4 team. And hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I cover that specific team. If you want additional content, bonus content, sign up as a paid member of the channel with the appropriate tier. I also give priority reply to members. And check out our Discord server. It's free. You get to interact with me. I get to pop in there. And the Discord server will notify you when we go live or when I upload videos. Usually. So that's where I just wanted to start this off. Is a fair warning that it's not me saying I think Miami's going to win by 50 here. It's not what I'm saying at all. But the public being with a team that is this big of an underdog with this talent discrepancy not in its favor, but against it, is a huge red flag. It is a massive red flag. Even some of the advanced analytics, you could probably geek yourself out into thinking that USF's going to be competitive here. You want it to happen. Looking at Miami's game against Notre Dame actually outplayed them on a points per play basis. USF, meanwhile, they blew out Boise and they defeated Florida in the Swamp, which is probably a much more intimidating environment than Hard Rock Stadium. And Miami currently is not that big of a favorite over Florida. So you think to yourself, well, why can't USF win? And we're going to talk about how they can win here in this segment too. But Miami, don't be deceived by some early numbers or the fact that USF is 2-0 and so is Miami, and you think because the records are identical and both have a ranked win that means they're similar teams. They are not. They are not similar teams. Notre Dame, if they played Florida neutral field, Notre Dame would be favored by, I would say, double digits. They'd be favored neutral field over Florida. Double digits. USF would be a double-digit underdog still. But beating Notre Dame even at home is more impressive than beating Florida on the road, based on what we've seen from those teams, what we know about them from a preseason research standpoint. Even people like myself, who were very low on Notre Dame in the preseason, and I was at least moderately high on Florida. I was higher on Florida than I was Notre Dame relative to their preseason placements and talent level. Even I thought Notre Dame would be better than Florida. Just coaching-wise, Freeman's better than Napier, and Notre Dame roster-wise, I think, is ahead of Florida as well. And USF, mind you, won that game based on a safety. That's basically how they won. And then a fluke touchdown on broken tackles. Not taking anything away from USF, I hate incompetent coaching, so it was the funniest and one of the most enjoyable moments of the year to watch USF beat Florida, because Napier sucks. It's just reality. I don't think he's going to be able to save his job. Your players can only love you so much before realizing, yeah, we're not winning with this guy. It's called the Scott Frost effect. USF can win here. And the power ratings and the advanced analytics back up the fact that they may have a chance. They're a 7.3 rated team per FPI. Miami's only a 13 rated team per FPI. I think Brycen Moore is an X-factor player, and USF on defense and in the trenches has really impressed me, as has Miami, where, they have Inez Cooper, James Brockermeyer, Francis Mauigoa, Carson Beck at QB. They got David Blay, Akeem Mesidor, and Justin Scott, Armando Blount, and then Ruben Bain Jr., who could be the best defensive end in America on that defensive line. However, USF has a chance, but a lot will have to go their way. So that, I think, is a huge factor here, is what's USF's game plan, and how do they execute it, and how do they change it? Can they, because Notre Dame was able to do this to a certain degree, with a quarterback who isn't as good at running the ball, but probably a better O-line, definitely a better O-line. They were able to use quarterback run to a numbers advantage at times against Miami and have it succeed. That's what USF loves to do with Alex Golish's system and Brycen Moore at QB. And Brown is healthy right now. So can they do that? If they cannot, can they throw on Miami? Can they exploit a secondary that had a coverage bust late against Notre Dame, and honestly, given what Notre Dame had on offense, probably didn't perform to their ceiling quite yet. It's still early in the year. Heatherman's still implementing his defense, and to a certain degree, there's only so much he can do because it is year one. When I look at the trenches and power running, who wins there? USF, because of quarterback run in part, has had some success, and their trenches have looked physical. I watched that Florida game, and they matched Florida's physicality pound for pound. With Miami, though, they're one of the best teams in the country in the trenches. Cristobal's an O-line coach. They could have the nation's best O-line, and their D-line is mean. It's nasty. I love what they have. I love what they have there. Finally, explosive plays are going to be a part of this game. That's how USF was able to really snowball Boise, is that touchdown on the punt pass that really broke open the game, and then Boise going for a fourth down, always failing, USF capitalizing on it, and then that big touchdown is really what helped them beat Florida and really pull ahead in that game, was that long touchdown. And with Miami, big plays were a big part of the reason why they were able to beat Notre Dame. Third down conversions, taking advantage of Notre Dame's man coverage. I think that if USF is going to win this matchup, it will be due to them hanging around and likely trailing for much of the game entering the fourth. And then they have a huge fourth quarter, and they're able to use Brown's running ability and maybe taking advantage of a shakier Miami secondary to make big plays. But again, may the public not be with you, because if they are, this is kind of I don't know how appropriate this is, but if the public isn't with you, if you believe in God, it's very unlikely that the result he's determined is going to be with you. The public gets a lot of this stuff wrong in terms of sports betting. Gets a ton of stuff wrong. So if the public is with you, odds are, from a statistical standpoint, in a big game like this where the line is definitely going one way decisively, which means the books and the experts are saying, no, one team's decisively better, then the public's not going to be right. So this is an example of the Fade the Public campaign that I started after week one, when the analysts picked Notre Dame and the analysts picked Texas. We picked Miami and Ohio State. We're going to be picking the Canes here again. I'm a big fan of the Canes. I was a fan of theirs last year. I am a huge fan of theirs this year, just based on preseason research. This is a really good team, could be better than last year's team. Their pass defense and pass offense is going to eat USF alive. Their rushing offense will eat USF alive. They may at times have a hard time stopping the run due to USF having a numbers advantage, but that will go away pretty quickly due to the fact that I think Miami will score, establish a clean lead, and at that point USF will have to abandon their identity to even have hope in really keeping this game close. So I'm going with the big favorite here. Miami's going to destroy USF. They're not just going to beat them, because I think a lot of people who know ball believe that Miami's going to win. I'm telling you, the scope of this win will be such that Miami will be overvalued by the general public after this game. The public who is high on USF, they're going to overreact and think that Miami is the second coming here. And also, USF is going to be very undervalued by the public. USF's a good team. They're a good G5 team. It's probably them or Tulane who are the best G5 team as it stands right now. Maybe if Boise figures out their issues, they can be too. But with that Florida win and also playing Miami here, all USF has to do is probably win the American, and they're in the playoffs. So don't take this the wrong way in the sense that I think USF's a bad team and Miami's an elite team. I think Miami still has some issues to resolve before they can become an elite team. And I think USF's good for a G6 team. In fact, they might even be elite for a G6 team. They certainly have elite coaching for a G6 league. But the gap between the G6 and Power 4 has almost never been wider, in a sense. So I'm going with Miami to win here, and I'm going with them to cover and cover big. Thank you so much for watching College Football with Sam. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bells, and comment your thoughts down below. Again, for the notification bells, don't just hit the bell for my main channel, hit it for any team playlists attached, or if you're not interested in those teams, navigate to my channel homepage, to the playlists tab. There will be a playlist for your favorite team if it's a Power 4 team. Hit the notification bell for that playlist so you can get notified when I mention them or talk about the conference broadly that they reside in. If you want bonus content, sign up as a paid member. And our Discord server is totally free. You get to interact with me and several other diehard football fans in there. So do those things. Most of them are free. And if you want to go the extra mile, there's always the Patreon page and YouTube memberships.